and I would never do anything to hurt my family's farm. We have thousands of acres between our timbering land and our farming land and our quarries. I just want to say that I don't feel it's unreasonable that we would want to drill. We want to be we want to be self-sufficient. We want to take care of our country. We want to take care of our country instead of foreign oil dominating the market. This is ridiculous, and we need to take charge now.
Energy in Depth is a PR firm, some of you may be here today, who have preempted Josh Fox and Gasland in Google with moneyed ads. Does the oil and gas industry really believe that all the people who have awarded this documentary did so because it was not based on facts? Starting with the special jury prize at Sundance, the Environmental Media Award, the John Lennon Yoko Ono Award for Peace, so threatened by facts in this film that in an unprecedented move, they wrote to the Academy Awards asking for it to be removed from the nomination category for an Oscar for Best Documentary. On Sunday, this Oscar-nominated documentary will bring this issue to national attention, fortify a national movement against fracking, making it impossible to bring our kids to the president.
All I'm asking is that the property owner's rights are respected.
Citizens and landowners' rights.
External costs which have to be borne by the public, such as the Gulf oil spill or New York City's water supply if our water becomes contaminated and we have to put in a filtration system. Indifference to employee health.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is David Braun. I'm here from New York City, and I'm a part of United for Action. You have to be kidding me. Seriously, it hasn't been a year since the Deepwater Horizon disaster, and you guys are about to let the industry regulate itself. You're gonna tell them that, oh, please, this is the honor system. You guys can watch where this wastewater goes. It's no big deal. It's only 400,000 pounds of chemicals going into each well, all the radon, everything else that comes out of the ground. I mean, this is a serious problem, and you guys are about to hand them the keys to the mint, you know? I mean, this is the craziest thing. So you gotta be kidding me about that. Now, you mentioned the expected water withdrawals. You didn't, or the expected water usage. You didn't mention the expected amount of chemical usage. Like I just said, 400,000 pounds of chemicals. That equals, for your estimations in terms of wells, 8 billion pounds of toxic chemicals will be put into the ground in the Delaware River Basin area. That is the equivalent of 11 Empire State Buildings worth of toxic chemicals. That's an insane amount going straight into the ground, which will migrate into our water supply. Now, in economics, you gotta be kidding me. Even with movies like Gasland, Split Estate, and studies that have been done, damaging reports like the Hazen and Sawyer report, you still want to do this. I mean, it's the craziest thing. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. We need to have a cumulative impact study before we do anything. I mean, seriously, you know, folks, Carol, you seem like a very rational person. We have the evidence. We know this is bad. We can't proceed with this. What about the precautionary principle? So, you know, we don't sell crack for a reason, and honestly, we shouldn't frack for a reason.
Please do not issue regulations permitting hydraulic fracturing without first addressing at least the following 2 points. 1, regulations should be based upon a comprehensive cumulative impact study, not on existing state regulations which are woefully inadequate. This draft fails to take into account the cumulative impact across multiple wells of water withdrawal and the full life cycle of well development.
New friends got me researching this, and I realized, hey, I identify with another boom, a boom of activists that believe in a just transition to a green-collar economy in a more local, sustainable, and economically diverse society, and that's possible. People who want to be farmers, who want to use this land and build an inspiring new infrastructure for a new America. So let's focus on environmental justice and radical drilling. Because we know that the problems with these things are real. We know that we can stop these things. We know that at least we can stop the worst things and shift subsidies to renewable energy. So all we are saying is give green a chance.
My face right now, I have all these scars because I just had cancer taken from my face. And I'm very concerned about the carcinogenic chemicals that are in the wastewater. It is not a hypothesis, it's a reality. We know a lot of the chemicals are carcinogenic. We also know that the fracking brings up radioactive materials. I worry night and day about how the aquifers are being polluted. We know from engineering hydrologists that water, especially salty water, goes very quickly into the aquifers. And one thing I wanted to make sure is, I want to commend that I know you have a difficult task ahead of you, but I hope that you don't trust the gas companies who I have seen the damage they have done upstate. And in fact, I don't think we can trust them. They say they have not hurt the water when in fact we know there are many cases. So good luck, but please have a moratorium and take time.
Please extend the March 16th public comment deadline for at least 6 months and preferably 2 years until the EPA study and the cumulative impact study are done. I wake up every morning with asthma. My mother died from lung cancer and members of my immediate family suffer from respiratory disease. So I know what it's like, and it's not just a little tightness of breath. Respiratory disease kills. Shale gas drilling mobilizes radon, which is the #2 cause of lung cancer, along with radium-226 and uranium, both potent carcinogens. Until more is known about the health impacts from these radionuclides, your draft rules must not be finalized. Studies have also already shown that gas drilling increases asthma to as high as 1 in 4 in children in gas drilling areas. Your draft rules allow huge centralized waste pits, which must be outlawed. Frack water picks up organic compounds from the shale during fracking when the flowback waste is stored in the frack pits. The hazardous pollutants, including benzene, toluene, xylene, enter the air, combined with nitrogen oxide to produce ground-level ozone, the primary component of unhealthy smog. We know that air interacts with water. The two are completely intertwined. We need to look at air impacts as well as water. These regulations rely on compliance and transparency from an industry which has shown the opposite behavior over and over. When people get sick and sue gas drilling companies, the companies force them to sign non-disclosure clauses to keep silence. Until the silences are broken, there must be no gas drilling.
I grew up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I actually own land in northeast Pennsylvania in the shale, but now I live downstream in Philadelphia. I want to talk about some other rights that I have as a Pennsylvanian. The Pennsylvania Constitution guarantees me the right to clean water and clean air. I consider that a human right. It doesn't matter if it's written on a piece of paper, anybody in any state should have that right. So with gas drilling, we have this body of anecdotal evidence suggesting that the activity may deprive people of their rights to clean water, to pure air, pure water, clean air. It's a staggering record. We have the bubbling of methane in the Susquehanna. We have unsafe levels of total dissolved solids in the Monongahela. Thousands of reports of well water contamination, case after case of human illness, and unusually high rates of childhood asthma in active Barnett Shale drilling areas. Fish kills, salamander die-offs. So we're talking about the property rights of hundreds of landowners against the human rights of millions of people who get their drinking water from the basin and breathe the air in the basement. Which rights take precedence?
Hydrofracking, to me, is an act against humanity. I'm a property owner, a farm owner, an attorney, and a conservationist. I own an 80-acre farm paralleling the Delaware River, New Jersey, and I've spent years planting indigenous trees and saplings I brought from the New Jersey Forestry Department. over 4,000 symbols of hope for the future habitat, and to help filter the watershed that wends its way into the mighty Delaware River. The property value of dwellings without clean water is zero. Communities with toxic and no water supplies become instantaneous ghost towns. These are the financial considerations, but by no means the most important ones. Our survival, our entire survival depends entirely on a clean water supply, and it is finite. We cannot afford to absorb in our bodies and our savings any more health issues caused by biocides, endocrine disruptors, neurotoxins, and carcinogens, to name a few that sicken us. We cannot as a society afford to clean up pre-existing Superfund sites, let alone the ones that hydrofracking is causing. How can we remediate ones we cannot even see or fully know the long-term consequences of?